This is $75 million that the WNBA players gave up 16% for. Where did that money go, Abe? That would be my question, because your point is valid, but where is the 16%? Because if I'm correctly, if they did this raise, then basically they gave up a percentage of equity to market the WNBA, to build up the WNBA to be diluted or be it in a CBA agreement.
The WNBA has found itself with a game-changing superstar in Caitlin Clark, a player whose presence is reshaping the league's entire future. But while she's drawing record attention and multi-million-dollar endorsement deals, she's also facing a level of physical play that's raising eyebrows. From hard hits to off-ball contact, Clark is often at the receiving end of aggressive play that seems to go beyond the usual rookie treatment. At the same time, while companies are offering her endorsement deals worth tens of millions, her league salary stands at just $76,000. It's a striking contrast, especially for someone who's arguably revitalizing the league's popularity on and off the court. But this isn't just about tough defense or welcome to the league moments. There's a bigger story unfolding, one involving competition, power, and the growing tension around a rising star who's changing the rules as she plays.
Arby's has a new spokeswoman, and it just so happens to be Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, that's right. She is now on the Arby's payroll, is what is happening. And maybe Arby's is going to snap back to relevance now. Here she is in the new shirt that we saw her in this weekend. Hot girls eat Arby's. Sizes small and large have already sold out on the Arby.
The numbers tied to Caitlin Clark's impact are so staggering, they sound almost unreal. Her rookie salary with the WNBA sits at just $76,535, a surprisingly small figure when you consider the economic surge she's sparked across the league. Enter what many now call the Caitlin Clark effect. Her presence has set off a wave of growth that's hard to ignore. Sales of her number 22 jersey have soared by over 500%, turning her into a top merchandise mover. And when the Indiana Fever hit the road, ticket prices skyrocket, rising by an average of 140%. The results are visible night after night. Once half-empty arenas are now buzzing with energy, packed with fans, many of them first-time WNBA viewers eager to experience her in action. She's not just playing the game. She's transforming it.
They have the meats. Now has Indiana star Sophie Cunningham's Hot Girls Eat Arby's t-shirts. Sold out, by the way. Sponsored by them, by the way. Broke the internet on this one.
Adding to the momentum, the WNBA is approaching a major new media rights deal, one projected to be worth billions. And at the center of that surge in value is Caitlin Clark. Her massive viewership draw isn't just helping, it's a key reason those numbers are climbing. Clark has become more than just a rookie sensation. She's a driving economic force, boosting ratings, revenue, and relevance for the entire league. The twist? Despite generating hundreds of millions in impact, her official paycheck tells a very different story, a sharp contrast that highlights just how much the business of basketball is changing.
That has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year, and then of course there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game, and by the end of that game she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, right? The one that's got her back. At times, it feels like the only one that...
At times, it feels like Caitlin Clark is navigating the league with little protection. Her welcome to professional basketball hasn't come with the fanfare you might expect. Instead, it's felt more like a crash course in contact sports. From her very first game, she's faced relentless physical pressure, jostled by defenders, knocked off balance, and pushed in ways that often blur the line between tough defense and excessive force. There have been moments where the game has looked more like a brawl than basketball, with Clark absorbing hits that rarely draw a whistle. For a rookie carrying so much of the league's spotlight, the level of contact she's dealt with is raising questions, not just about fairness, but about how the game adapts to protect its most valuable stars.
Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah.
And
Game after game, the physical toll on Caitlin Clark continues to mount. While some may chalk it up to the usual rookie growing pains, this feels different, more intentional, more pointed. The league's biggest draw is also taking some of its hardest hits. The contact isn't just frequent, it's forceful, unrelenting, and often seems designed to send a message. But perhaps the most surprising part isn't the fouls themselves, it's the lack of response. The silence from officials has become louder than any whistle, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning how much is too much.
Led to a lot of opportunities. By the way, she had a little bit of a down game yesterday against the Sky, but prior to that, for the last couple weeks, Sophie Cunningham had been balling out on the basketball court ever since she started getting put in to the starting lineup. So we got a couple of different things that have emerged when it comes to Sophie. Number one, let's start with what happened yesterday, because she has gone viral. All right, she's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's.
In most professional leagues, star players are treated like prized investments, and rightfully so. In the NBA, even minor contact with a marquee name like Steph Curry or LeBron James is often enough to draw a whistle. Protecting the faces of the league isn't just expected, it's standard practice. But when it comes to Caitlin Clark, the usual rules seem oddly suspended. Time after time, she's taken hard hits, from mid-court bumps to obvious illegal screens, yet the whistles remain silent. Instead of receiving the protection that typically comes with being the league's biggest attraction, she's left to fend for herself while officials wave the play on. It's a puzzling double standard that's drawing more attention with each game.
Measurable greatness of Caitlin Clark. The unmeasurable greatness of Caitlin Clark. You know, I've said a lot of times I like Caitlin Clark, right? But I never told you why or really I like Caitlin Clark or what is it about Caitlin. Caitlin Clark has unmeasurable greatness. You know what unmeasurable greatness is? Is when they give you a $28 million contract that's worth $280 million, right? That's the true value of what Caitlin's worth, right? I mean, Caitlin Clark effect has sent an earthquake through the NCAA basketball, right?
This isn't just about a few missed calls in the heat of competition, it's a clear and troubling pattern. The lack of enforcement when it comes to fouls against Caitlin Clark has become hard to ignore. Fans, commentators, and even casual viewers are left baffled, wondering whether the officials are simply letting things slide or operating under some unspoken guideline to let them play, a standard that seems to apply only when Clark is on the receiving end. Whether intentional or not, the message being sent is unmistakable. When it comes to physical play, she's expected to handle it alone.
That's what I'm talking about. Caitlin Clark. Oh, okay. The WNBA player who deserves a max contract. She worth more than the league by herself. Best WNBA player.
On the court, Caitlin Clark may not always be treated like a priority, but in the business world, she's nothing short of a superstar. She recently signed a headline-making 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike, a figure that eclipses her entire 4-year WNBA salary many times over. Her face is now a fixture on billboards, she's starring in major ad campaigns, and every step she takes is followed by a media spotlight. Her influence is so strong, it's lifting others around her. Just ask her Indiana Fever teammate Sophie Cunningham, who went viral simply for wearing a shirt that said, "Hot girls eat Arby's." Within hours, the shirt sold out, another ripple from the ever-growing Caitlin Clark wave. It's the ultimate contrast, one moment she's taking hits on the hardwood, the next she's sealing major endorsement deals. Two very different worlds, both revolving around one rising icon.
Her rookie contract is for 4 years, just under $340,000. From the entrepreneurship perspective, last year she made over $3 million as a collegiate athlete.
And sponsorship, right? NIL.
And so this makes me think about the fact that there are a lot of people building brands and influence online, and they don't all aspire to be owners of companies. But they do desire to work for organizations and leaders. But what I see when I see those numbers, I see failed leadership of the WNBA. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about her income.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they couldn't even get her.
So why is this happening? Why would a league allow its most marketable player to be handled so aggressively? One possible answer lies in a complicated, and very human, emotion: resentment. For years, the WNBA has been home to talented, hardworking athletes who've played largely outside the media spotlight. Then came Caitlin Clark, and everything changed. She didn't just enter the league, she became its focal point overnight. To some, her rapid rise feels like a disruption of the established order. Critics argue she hasn't paid her dues, question her playing style, or say she draws too much attention. But beneath those opinions may be something deeper: frustration with how quickly she's shifted the spotlight. Clark's arrival hasn't just broken records, it's challenged unspoken rules. She represents a new era, and for a league rooted in tradition, that kind of change can feel uncomfortable. At times, it doesn't just look like competition. It feels personal.
The big talk been the money thing.
You see her Caitlin contract?
I heard about it today. 300 is crazy.
She making $76,000 this year.
I always see people break it down. First of all, they said the one she making $77,000 a year. They said James Harden got fined $100.
But though,
somebody a liar.
What is their season? 4 months?
Yeah, short. Yeah, short.
So it's like, I get it.
It's short.
4 months you making $76,000. It ain't just terrible, but for her, it's bad. Like,
but it's terrible. I think it is more. Cause we've been knowing this.
Amid all the chaos, the physical play, the criticism, the non-stop spotlight, Caitlin Clark remains strikingly calm. Where others might react with frustration or risk a technical foul, she answers with a deep three from the logo. When a call doesn't go her way, she opts for a quiet conversation with the official instead of a confrontation. That kind of poise doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of years of grounding, shaped by parents who raised a superstar with humility, not ego. From the start, Clark was taught to work hard, stay grounded, and love the game above all else. She's not out there to chase headlines or respond to critics, she's simply there to play. And while the noise around her grows louder, she keeps letting her game speak for itself. That ability to turn pressure into performance may be her most powerful asset. Because it's not just her talent that stands out, it's her resilience. And that's something even her harshest critics can't ignore.
WNBA will make $1 billion this year.
But that's okay.
Overall merchandise sales by Fanatics grew since Caitlin Clark's been in the league. It's grown by 500%. Overall sales of merchandise from Dick's Sporting Goods has grown to 233%. Fever's net value went from $90 million to $340 million. Average price of games jumped by 140% if Fever play on the road. No other teams, just a Fever.
Good.
Overall,
good. Like
WNBA attendance has grown by 50%.
Thank you.
The WNBA signed an 11-year TV deal worth $2.2 billion and prompted league expansion to 15 teams by 2028. So it's not
coincidence.
One of the most troubling narratives surrounding Caitlin Clark is the idea that she simply needs to toughen up. On the surface, it sounds like harmless advice, the kind of phrase often thrown around in sports. But dig a little deeper, and it becomes clear that this mindset shifts the focus away from the real issue. Instead of addressing the excessive and often dangerous contact she's facing, the blame is redirected toward her response to it. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about protecting a player, it's about questioning her toughness. It's a double standard that would never fly in a men's league. When Michael Jordan was being physically targeted by the bad boy Pistons, it wasn't brushed off, it was called out. Late hits in the NFL don't prompt questions about the quarterback's resilience, they result in penalties and fines. Yet when Caitlin Clark calls for fair officiating, it's labeled as complaining. When she expects the same level of protection given to other stars, it's framed as entitlement. It's a subtle but powerful way of dismissing valid concerns and normalizing the treatment she's receiving. At its core, it's not about toughness. It's about fairness.
Signing an 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, but for some people it caused controversy since they're arguing that there are other WNBA players already in the league who don't even have a deal like that. So just in general, what do you guys think about the discourse between that? And then what do you guys think of the major deal that she is receiving?
Yeah, I think anyone's upset with Caitlin Clark's deal doesn't understand the publicity that's on the line here. When you think of being in front of a national camera for 36 games, almost back to back, that type of promotion, you would have to pay top dollar for.
While the officials may remain silent, public opinion has made its voice loud and clear. The millions of fans Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA are far from passive. They're digitally fluent, fiercely loyal, and highly engaged. Acting as watchdogs on social media, they clip every missed call, every hard foul, and every questionable quote, sharing it all with the world in viral posts that dissect plays down to the frame. This growing chorus has created a public relations storm the league can no longer ignore. The WNBA wanted the spotlight Clark brings, but with it came a level of scrutiny they may not have been prepared for. Every game is now under a microscope. Every missed call risks becoming a trending topic. Her fans aren't just filling arenas, they're demanding accountability. Make no mistake, what's unfolding is bigger than one player. It's a cultural turning point. Caitlin Clark isn't just redefining what it means to be a rookie, she's reshaping the perception of women's sports entirely. With every shot, she's proving that female athletes can drive massive revenue, generate global headlines, and command the same respect afforded to their male counterparts. And not everyone is comfortable with that. Some of the pushback, the aggressive play, the dismissive comments, feels like the last stand of an old guard resisting change. But this is no longer just about one athlete from Iowa. It's about a future where women's sports are treated not as a niche, but as a global powerhouse. A future where value is measured by talent, not tradition. That future is arriving fast. And Clark, with her poise, performance, and presence, is leading the charge. But here's the paradox. While the league is experiencing unprecedented growth thanks to her impact, the on-court environment she faces feels increasingly hostile. Every ignored foul, every incident without a whistle, chips away at the momentum she's building. And the stakes are rising. Speculation is already swirling, hypotheticals where a billionaire offers her tens of millions just to sit out a season, proving her value through absence rather than presence. It may sound far-fetched, but it speaks to a very real concern. The league's brightest star is also its most vulnerable. Now, the WNBA stands at a crossroads. Will it rise to meet this moment and protect its most valuable asset? Or will it risk watching the Caitlin Clark phenomenon unravel, not because of competition, but because of neglect? This is more than a storyline. It's a defining moment in the history of the sport. And whether they realize it or not, Caitlin Clark is already writing the next chapter, one shot, one assist, one headline at a time.